Start the morning right with a cup of Vinyl Tap. Nothing beats the refreshing taste of a hot, warm mug of Vinyl Tap. Enjoy your podcast in liquid form today. Vinyl Tap. Enjoy responsibly.
Ho, ho, ho.
From I'm Santa.
I'm Santa.
I'm Santa.
And this week we listened to Don't Waste Your Wishes by The Killers.
My review is Don't Waste Your
Time.
By Habibi.
Yeah.
No, I completely disagree. I had a lovely time listening to this album, and I cannot wait to explain what the fuck was going on to you.
Yeah. Who's going to start this? I'm going to start this because I have the least knowledge as far as I'm aware about what's going on. So it was a complete fucking whiplash between like actual normal songs with Christmas just shoehorned in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes literally just they like had overdubs of people pretending to be Santa and sleigh bells. There were a couple of songs in there, standouts that were like the Cowboys Christmas Ball. Now that was like an actual Christmas song that I could get behind.
Sick.
We'll get into that.
Only like a couple of songs in there.
Yeah.
And then like it went from that to just like a Killers song, full Americana rock. I didn't get it
They
at
had
all.
Christmas buzzwords.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Santa, Jesus, all that stuff. Let's put him out of his misery. This is a compilation album. Every year, for 11 years, The Killers released a Christmas single.
Right.
And this is
like
all
with,
of them.
with artists, like other artists?
Sometimes.
Most of them had featuring artists. But most
Is
of
that
them
why
are-
sometimes it literally sounded like another band was in there?
Yeah,
Well,
because for a few times there was another
Some
band
of them
in there.
there was, yeah. Like, I think Christmas in L.A. had an entire other band as part of the
shit.
track.
I think it was...
Wasn't it? The Doors?
Yeah.
Weren't they? Not the
The
Doors.
Doors.
The
They
band
brought
called-
Jim Morrison back from the dead.
Doors is in DAWES.
I think it
Digital
was...
audio workstation?
Yes.
Oh,
Extra
AES.
sample.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just-
I think the guitarist and the vocals were them.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I
the
don't know.
non-Brandon Flowers vocals. Yeah, so there you go.
right,
So-
okay, that makes so much
Yeah,
more sense.
It doesn't, like, it explains it, but I still think...
doesn't excuse
It does.
yeah, just because you've put it in chronological order doesn't mean that you don't have a tonal whiplash going on across the album that you could have avoided by rearranging the tracks.
So you're arguing for, like, is that more important than keeping it chronological?
Probably.
Probably,
What does
'cause-
chronological achieve besides tonal whiplash?
So 3 of the songs on this album need to be in a specific order because it's a trilogy. It's like a story.
Yep.
Don't Shoot Me Santa is the first one, and then I believe it's I Feel It in My Bones. Then is it Don't Sledding? Is the next one? Yes, it is. Where the same guy keeps playing Santa and he's like killing Brandon Flowers or something.
I mean, but that can
Right.
still be
Yeah.
achieved with rearranging everything else
absolutely.
as well.
But how would you
And if
rearrange
it's a trilogy
it?
of
How would
songs,
you rearrange this though?
doesn't it
Because
then also...
I can't think of a single order that this could have gone in which would have made
Any
sense.
Well, my first thing is if you've got a trilogy of songs that are a continuous story, they should probably be next to each other.
No,
You reckon?
no, not at all. Why?
Because it's a continuous story, and it's not... If it was on a concept album, not necessarily, because you're part of... It's a small story within a larger narrative, but when it's a compilation album and 3 songs are telling the one story, jumping
Right.
out of that story then back into it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't not make sense to me. Like I think it's perfectly fine.
Like, you can do it, but I, with no context, had no clue those songs were related.
Yeah.
If you put them next to each other, I might get the inkling that, hey, is this a story across the 3? But I knew the same guy in 2 of them played Santa because I recognized the voice.
Yep.
Outside of that, I was... Like, I would not have gone, hey, these 3 songs go together.
Elton John's on this album.
Elton
Really?
John is here.
Yeah,
Where?
he's
Where?
on Joseph Better You Than Me.
Right.
The one about...
Really?
When I think about Christmas songs, I picture like a spectrum from the Santa side of Christmas to the Jesus side of Christmas, you know? Am I making sense so far?
Yeah.
Like-
Like you've got Away in a Manger and then you've got...
All I Want for Christmas
All I Want
is
for
You,
Christ-
you know?
Jingle Bells.
So it has nothing to do with Jesus, basically.
You've got your Michael Bublé, and you've got your Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
No, I feel like they're on the same
Yeah,
spectrum.
And then
Probably.
a few songs on this album didn't fit either of those. It was just like, it's Christmas. It's a song about Christmas, and it's like it falls into neither of those categories. There's nothing
Such
Jesus-y.
Really?
The Cowboys
Happy
Christmas
birthday,
Bowl.
Guadalupe.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
that's a weird one.
I'm gonna disagree on the Cowboys Christmas Ball. It ticked so many Christmas songs.
That's not what I'm
things to
saying.
me.
I'm saying that it's not a song about the Jesus part of Christmas, and it's not a song about the Santa part of Christmas. It's just, it's Christmas time, so it's a Christmas song.
That for me kind of falls under the Santa part of Christmas, though. It's not about Santa, but it being Christmas is kind of like, okay, that's the Santa side of
so
things.
I guess we can like rephrase it as the religious part of Christmas and the secular part of Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I think quite a few of these songs missed both. And I think for me, that just came across as like they were just normal songs. And then they just chopped out whatever important word and replaced it with Santa.
It's
I mean, like
Christian rock taking baby and putting in the word Jesus.
no, literally, like
So
okay,
let's
so the
take out
second song,
baby and
"Don't
put
Shoot
in
Me Santa," "Don't Shoot Me Santa," they literally could have just replaced it with Sandra, and it would have been the same song.
Or dude.
Or dude.
Don't shoot me, dude.
Don't shoot no, but like I mean, "Don't Shoot Me Sandra." If you just sang those words, it would be just like a regular killer song.
Except the man with the deep voice replying to you wouldn't really.
I mean, it's
add
funnier.
up.
Yeah,
True.
but like you could just cut that out, and that's what I mean. Like they're not really Christmas songs in either composition, lyrics, or anything.
So
I
what you're
agree.
saying is Christmas buzzwords do not equate to a Christmas
I don't
song.
think that Christmas buzzwords equate to a Christmas song.
I
no.
agree. I think they nail it though with Cowboy Christmas
Oh,
Ball
totally.
It's so good.
because it's like fun and upbeat, but
is so
also not taking itself too seriously. But the music is still good and enjoyable. It's not like joke music with like playful lyrics or serious
It's
music.
not the
with, like,
Pornhub album.
It's
is it?
not
No.
the Pornhub. And even though it's kind of full of like tropes and like musical cliches, that's almost steering into it a bit as well.
Oh, definitely.
Like, a lot of Christmas songs have these sounds that you think are Christmas, and the tropes in this one aren't necessarily Christmas tropes, but it steers more into that atmosphere of like, I know what's going on, I can kind of sing along first listen and enjoy it straight away.
It's got that. The melodies are more like lullaby-like, right? Or like actual chorale where you open your front door and there's the gaggle of kids who sing
Yeah.
you Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Like
These songs that could be sung by anyone, because
Right.
that's the point of a Christmas song.
yeah.
Kinda.
No, definitely. I don't think any other song really on the album nails it quite like Cowboys Christmas Ball.
No,
You're
it was-
wrong.
Before we get there, before we change to you're wrong,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to note, bit of different instrumentation. Having like, I'm pretty sure it was like a fiddle. It might have been a synth fiddle towards the end of that. That was kind of fun, and also not having the sleigh bells up until there was like that a cappella part with just the
Yes.
sleigh bells
Yeah.
behind it, and then the big old cheesy 5-1 at the end.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. It was just.
I think you also missed out on the important umcha rhythm that was going on. You know, you got to have that 1-2 beat.
I wrote
That's
down
it.
so little about this song because I was just enjoying it. Oh, I should say, this is most of the songs on this album are original. This one isn't entirely. It's like adapted.
Cowboys Christmas Ball.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like adapted from a kind of traditional, from this poem that this guy wrote in the 1800s.
Did it have any music with it, or was it just lyrically adapted?
Like, as a folk tradition, it had like some music, but it wasn't set in stone.
Yeah.
So
okay.
what you're saying is the only song that sounded Christmassy wasn't actually theirs. Not truly. Jesus.
In the
Christ.
way that
What do you mean? They all had sleigh bells. That means they all
They're all
sounded
Christmas.
Christmas.
And they also all had tubular bells, or most of them
them
had
did,
tubular
yeah.
bells.
Well, so you know it's Christmas.
Right.
You know that Band-Aid thing? Do they know it's Christmas time? Well, they do now because there's fucking tubular bells.
You know that song Tubular Bells?
Yeah.
Is that a Christmas song?
it's got tubular bells in it, so it has to be.
It's gotta be a...
First of all, it's not a song. It's like a 40-minute album that's like the
That's a
one
song.
continuous track.
That's a song.
Yeah, well, that's a song, you know.
Is that a Christmas song?
Yeah.
It's got
Okay.
tubular bells. It
We're
has
going
to
to cover
be.
that
We'll
someday.
cover that later.
Wow.
So, what's the other one you think that hit the nail when it comes to actual Christmas music?
Joel the Lump of Coal.
Oh,
Because
ugh.
you said, while listening to it, that it's so catchy it's annoying, which is like, that's a Christmas song right there, right?
Right.
That's
right.
what they do.
And it you did get it in the end, Jason. I'm proud of you. But
Yeah.
Very, very like loose hints, and I wouldn't have got there. But I was like, this is it's like another song that I know that I've heard before. What is it?
What is it?
Tim had it, and then Beebs got it.
yeah,
and
yeah. No, I
I got it just before we
was trying
started
to think.
recording.
I was like, what is that melody? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's Pachelbel's Cannon. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Oh boy. Why was this Christmassy? No, Pachelbel's Cannon.
It's
doesn't
about
make
a lump of coal he got for Christmas, and he's okay with it. That's why it's Christmassy.
Again,
Yeah,
but
I
like
guess so.
lyrically, we just said it doesn't mean it's Christmas just because the lyrics are Christmas.
Okay, that's not
related.
buzzwords. The entire narrative of the song is around the idea of receiving that gift for Christmas. And it's like based in tradition of Santa giving bad kids coal.
Yeah, but I got more like Yellow Submarine, like tripping balls vibes than I did. It's
Well-
Christmas. You know?
I'd have to listen to it again. And Yellow Submarine.
I mean, Joel, the lump of coal.
Jimmy Kimmel is in this song for some reason.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, so this really is a full compilation.
Yep.
Just,
He sucks. He sucks in it. And,
Yeah.
And in other things as well. I'm not a... Anyway, he's completely out of time and out of key, but...
Is that what was going on there?
Yeah.
That's
and
why I
then
said Yellow Submarine.
There was that weird...
Cop that, Ringo.
weird like counter melody that is just not even remotely in time near the beginning of that song.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you just go, what? Someone said okay to this. Not multiple people said
well,
okay to
yeah.
this.
And then not only did they say okay to it once, because that's when they first recorded the song, they said okay to it again when they were like, hey, should we put this on the Christmas album? They listened to it and they were like,
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a great idea.
at a certain point, it feels like it was an obligation to fill their annual Christmas single, right? It's like, oh, we have to get a song out. Because a few of these songs were when the band was on hiatus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so between 2008 and 11 or something like that.
Oh, right. So they got together literally to do it.
Yeah.
God, that would suck.
I mean, they knew it was coming though,
Yeah.
and if they're not doing anything else, if anything, they've got more time for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel
Sorry, I
like that's
don't know their
worse. Like
personal lives, but-
being like obliged to have to do a Christmas song.
I mean, but you're not.
They didn't
though.
have to.
You
They
could
chose to
say,
do that.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
do this.
I don't think it's a pretty cool thing to commit to.
Yeah, but at what point can you actually say no? Like, if you've already done it for like 6 or 7 years.
Well, they've stopped now. After the 11th one, they were like, all right, that's it.
But it is. This is probably a relevant time to bring up the fact that all of these songs were for charity.
Mm-hmm. All the proceeds of all the singles and the album itself went to, what's it called? Product Red.
Red.
Yeah.
Which is a company by a charity company, debatable, by Bono and I can't remember who else.
The other guy.
Yeah, Bono and someone else. That.
No one called us journalists.
Yeah, it's in support of HIV research, which is very important,
And eradication.
and eradication. But from my understanding, there's controversy about the amount of money they spend on advertising and where the money actually goes. Like, it doesn't go to help people who are affected by it, and the money potentially ends up just with Big Pharma.
Well, that's exciting. But the initial
They
point-
mean well.
Yeah, they mean well. Yeah, it's hard because it's like it's not coming
Right.
from a terrible place, but there's
Them-
potential that it's not doing what they'd
Yeah.
like it to be doing.
We're sailing a good ship across murky waters.
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
I mean,
Shing.
yeah. Shing. That's a pretty typical one, right?
Dirt sledding. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I loved this song. To the end and back. I loved it so much.
Really?
Yeah.
I got so there's so much Americana in this.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Yeah,
fair enough.
it's
but
so
it was
fucking
like
cheesy.
It's like I kept getting Meatloaf Bad Out of Hell.
Yep.
And this
Grease.
was
Oh,
it. This Grease, but like Bad Out of Hell, this cemented it. I reckon you could listen to like this song and then that album, like back to back, or you could just put this song in that album and you wouldn't even know. It would disappear in there.
There's
like
a certain
chameleon.
era of the Killers that's basically Meatloaf and Bruce Springsteen, just like brought into the modern era.
Yeah, it's very strange. I couldn't quite pick what it is musically that does it. I don't know if it's necessarily a guitar tone thing.
It does
or
feel like
whether
it should be something like that.
Yeah.
Guitar solo, the tone of the guitar was probably like the shining light of this song, and that's about it.
And that's about it?
What?
Not a
Me.
fan?
What?
I mean, maybe the Tubular Bell line that I thought was going to be there
The
from
whole
the beginning.
chorus constantly slaps. You're so off. Bad take. Good take. I loved it. Oh my god. It just made me so happy.
Didn't you want to sing, like, Grease lyrics? Tell me more, tell me
And
more.
I like Grease, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it overstays its welcome.
Grease or this song?
Yeah.
Yes. And the other one that's got those big Americana vibes, Joseph, Better Than You, Betty... Me,
That's
Better
a
You
big
Than Me.
Springsteen one
Yeah,
because it's like tells a
huge.
big story and it has this epic scale.
Yeah.
And Elton John shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that's a really interesting, like, lyrical idea for a song, like exploring what Joseph would have felt being the father of Jesus, but not really. Like that's an interesting thing to explore about the whole Christmas mythos.
What, like...
Like I just haven't seen it really anywhere else.
Do you
It's all-
consume a lot of Christmas media?
Around December, sure. I mean, have you heard it before? Like,
No.
everything's
Really?
about Jesus. Well, what about his dad, you know?
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm about to offend some people here, but, like, his point of view is definitely got to be, like, seriously questioning the whole Immaculate Conception thing. I mean... he's like, really? And she's like, yeah. And
Yeah.
He's like, really? And then everyone's like, well, your kid's great. And he's like, oh, fuck, well, I can't say anything now. Like,
I think they were pretty upfront about him being the son of God. Like, they were never they never pretended that Joseph was the real dad. There was never, like, a sitcom, we can't tell him he's adopted kind of thing. That's a great idea.
imagine that.
Do a sitcom about... That's a terrible idea. Do a sitcom about Mary and
this idea.
Joseph. Wow. Yeah, no, I just don't see anything, like, dwelling on... I don't know, I thought it was interesting.
I don't really catch many of the lyrics, though.
Yeah,
I just felt like it sounded like Johnny Cash, and then I was trying to remember which Johnny Cash song it made me think of. There was a particular drum line, which was Battle Hymn of the Republic, for those of you playing at home. And it literally featured like once for about 3 seconds, and then I was lost. I didn't hear the rest of the song.
Right.
Sorry.
I got lost and only wrote down that I liked the counter melody in the outro, which was maybe a piano, but Tim thought it was a guitar.
I thought it was a guitar.
I'd need to listen again. But it was cool.
It reminded me of a guitar tone that they used in their second album, so I was pretty sure it was guitar.
Right, yeah.
Maybe.
Um,
But also Elton John's on the song, so...
yeah, true.
So, okay, what defines Christmas then across this album? Because tonally...
Inconsistency.
Well, because like tonally, it's like, I live in a shitty American
The backwaters.
backwater and everything is crap. But also, I love my family and coming together is
Yeah,
the
I was
ultimate
gonna say,
Christmas
maybe-
spirit. But like those two ideas are often in conflict in the same song.
But that's okay. You can have complicated opposing things. I
No,
don't
you
know.
can't.
Like, yeah, of course you can.
Sure you can.
And you know that
Cognitive
whole
dissonance is not
that
real.
whole idea of I don't like where I'm from, but that's where I am from, and I'm still proud of it, and I want to see my family at Christmas.
But that's
is a
not-
very like.
That's kind of not the message that I got from these. It
I
was
mean,
like,
their
I don't
summary
like
song
where
was
I'm-
very that.
was it?
The
There's
whole
some-
narrative of like, here, this is where I'm from, and I'm gonna go back there at Christmas time.
It's
and
not great, but it's where everything is.
Yeah. Like it's a very
And
played out thing in Christmas stories, right?
I know it might not
Alright.
be fitting to bring in their other catalog, well, the rest of their catalog, but that's a big theme across a lot of their music. Is like they're a Las Vegas band, and that has some baggage because Las Vegas is a weird place,
Right.
especially like to grow up in.
So this whole idea of like, it's not a fantastic. I'm sure it is a great place. Sorry, all our Las Vegas listeners, but it's not like the ideal place. But I'm gonna go back there because I love it, and that's.
Oh, I totally missed that whole end part of the message. I just thought they were like, I hate it, and then I was confused with other songs where they're like, I love it. It's like, well, pick one.
That's the thing. These
How do
songs.
you feel about Christmas Hills?
I love it generally.
Nice.
Generally, there you go.
Yeah, whatever.
The other thing is these songs were written across 11 years. You know,
Okay. Yeah, look.
times are changing, minds are
I
changing.
guess knowing that it is a compilation album, changes things a little. You're forgiven, but not forgotten.
Click above to find out what else we've spoken about in this theme.
Click below to support the artist that we just listened to.
And make sure to tune in next week for more Vinyl Tap.
That's pretty good.
Better never than late.